What's going on, everybody? How we doing? You guys vibing? Bitcoin's looking great. Can I sing? Probably not. Give people a couple minutes to get here, and then we'll get started. Thinking we'll do some TA. We'll hang out, talk about Bitcoin, talk about whatever we want, do some Q&A. Cause I love you, but I love more at Cider more. Dude, me too. Go Wings. It's honestly partially why I had to get the stream in early today. If I stream now, I'll be I won't be able to or I won't miss the Wings game. Sorry. I got distracted. Show my face. I have before. But then no one's going to be looking at the charts on the screen, you know? Just kidding. All right. Let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, I need to give a shout out to the sponsors, Bybit, my preferred derivatives trading platform, and Trader Joe, the best swap on Avalanche. They also just announced their Q4 roadmap. Joe Rush, staking, Joe NFTs, which actually look kind of fun. I think they're kind of like the little logo down here. Joe and XJoe collateralization and leverage trading. So Joe is making some moves. Also, the token has done well over the last few days. Rallied up from $1.50 or so to almost $3. So we like to see that. And then lastly, if you guys need a VPN, because we all do in crypto, you can get 2 years and 4 months of NordVPN for $89, which is like $3 a month. Links for all that is in the description. Bitcoin's looking great. Bitcoin is looking great. This gray area, it's like on the move right now, I think. We might watch an all-time high break on stream today. So like the last area that I was talking about as resistance is this gray region, and it acted as resistance quite a few times. Rejection here, here, here. Then we had this spike up, took out the highs, quickly nuked, but then bought back up relatively quickly. So resistance acting as resistance, but we are getting close to flipping it now, which is good to see. I mean, Bitcoin's basically just been going straight up. This wick was a nice retest of the weekly open. So if you weren't long on Bitcoin, that sweep of these lows right here into this hourly demand and the weekly open was a pretty nice setup. But overall, this is looking good as long as we can stay above these levels. Like as long as we don't do something like this and get back below like 63, it looks like this could be our breakout. But if we do come back below here, then this would look like a deviation or whatever you want to call it, and then we might pull back, do something like that. So I'm not fully convinced of the breakout yet. I am long Bitcoin. I am holding spot Bitcoin. I am bullish. I think we go up, but something like this would be a red flag for me. So that's kind of the only thing we're keeping an eye out from a bearish perspective. And as long as that doesn't happen, we just want to keep longing. Am I still using Zort / affiliated? I have kind of taken a break or paused, whatever you want to call it, with all things Zort until they get this lawsuit stuff figured out. So I kind of just need to wait and see. As long as everything comes back clean, then we'll get started with the Zort content again. But for now, I need to make sure that Zort is clean. So, and I mean, for a while, it looked like everything was good. Like, I've met the CEO, I've been to his house, I've hung out with him in person and things like that. And so that's kind of why I was comfortable using Zort and having them as a stream sponsor. But with some other things that have come out, I'm just waiting until we hear more information, basically. Sad I lost the Gecko meme contest. The Gecko meme contest was fun. But man, there were a lot to look through. And there were a lot of really good ones. It was hard to pick just 5. I wish I could have picked like 10 of them. But it was fun. So if you're not long yet on Bitcoin, if we do get a pullback like this, I think you could look for something like that. I'd probably put my stop loss here, but then cut it early if it started to do something like this, like lose that level. But otherwise, I'm just riding my long. I'll probably look to compound at some point. And I think once this breaks all-time highs, like we could go to 70,000 rather quickly. Just make sure. Yeah. So as long as we hold Monday's high, basically. And if we retest it, something like that, I think it's a nice long opportunity. Stop loss here, target like 70K. I'm not sure if we get this, but I would compound my long if we do. Would be a nice 5-hour trade. So, not necessarily expecting it. I think this might have been our retest right here. The thing is, when Bitcoin starts trending a lot like this, when things are looking really bullish, it never gives the perfect pullback that we all want, right? For instance, if we zoom out, like I'm sure everyone would have wanted to long right here, and the wick didn't quite get there. So we'll see a lot of things like that. Or maybe people wanted this wick to come down, take out all these lows. It didn't quite make it, because when Bitcoin's in up only mode, everyone wants to get on board, and they're gonna do what it takes to get on board. And so sometimes that's front running the obvious levels, and we kind of see that a lot. It's tough to get exposure when it's really trending because it won't retest your obvious level. So let's say like we pump up from here, consolidate around 70K. Everyone would probably want that all-time high retest at 65, and then it might just do something like this. Go to 66 instead. So that's what I mean by like front running the more obvious levels. See? Right there, that wick front ran. So we'll see what we get. One thing that is really cool overall with Bitcoin up here, is comparing the funding from the last time we were up around 60K versus now, right? So when we were up here last time, funding was absurd, like 0.2% sometimes after the big spikes, but 0.1, 0.15. Right now, we're still sitting at like 0.01 funding. So funding is pretty neutral right now, which makes me even more bullish. I mean, you can see it's a little positive across the board, but BitMEX neutral, Bybit neutral, Binance neutral, FTX just a little up. But overall, like, you wouldn't expect to see this when we're at 60K, you know? Last time we were up here, funding was absolutely insane. And also, this is our highest daily close right here. So we can keep an eye on that. But very good sign. Like it shows that we aren't just being switch to the log chart, get ready for expansion. I don't even know what to use, to be honest. I don't really care. But like I was saying, this shows me that price isn't pushed up just because of leverage positions. And here, leverage positions were way overextended. And that's kind of part of why we were able to get so high. But then when we got down here, we wiped like all the leverage positions, and then throughout this area, everyone just lost a bunch of money, shaking themselves out of their longs, probably exited some here because it looked so horrible. I actually have a tweet on this day where I was like, the market looks so bad that I wouldn't be surprised if we bottom here, because this is the type of sentiment that we get at bottoms. I should try and find that. That'd be a good tweet to bring up. Or maybe it was here. I don't remember which bottom it was. Tweeted around one of them. What's the word I'm looking for? Is it sentiment? Let me search my tweets really quick. This might take too long. Whatever. I don't care. And as everyone knows, the Japanese exchange price leads. There it is. It was this one. How do you do that thing where you like add a tweet? Do you just paste the link onto a chart? Oops. How about that? That's kind of funny. Anyway, kind of funny, because that's just what happens. Yeah, I learned that not too long ago. You paste the link and it shows you exactly where it was. So CT's kind of quiet right now, though. And I think it's probably because everyone is just overexposed to altcoins and underexposed to Bitcoin. But man, this chart looks good. I can't get over it. And this is honestly huge. Like, ignore that part. When you zoom out, you can see like how crazy it is that funding is right here. I mean, we were at 48, 49K and funding was flashing negative. And just see how like this entire run up since December, like since we were at 23, funding was just absurd this whole time. Jeez, these are so annoying. And now we're literally trading at all-time highs and funding is flat. So, pretty epic. Makes me really bullish. I really want this to hit all-time highs while we're on stream. OX gated. What's that, Jared? Or Stacked Labs, I mean. Imagine the blue balls if we don't break and nuke from here. That would be kind of funny. Nah, funding's not a meme. You just got to know how to use it. Am I a fan of the Belugies? I think they're kind of fun. It's a good story. Alright, we can look at a couple more alts. Ethereum's having a pretty good day. I mean, up almost the same amount as Bitcoin, but you can just see like how much different the structures are. Bitcoin making new local highs from this consolidation, and like no other coin is really doing that right now. So I don't think it's the time to be balls deep in alts. Bitcoin is showing us who's boss right now. Me and oh, it was a name. I thought that was, yeah, okay, that makes sense now. Jared and I were actually talking about this like yesterday, that this, like, if Bitcoin shows everyone that it's the boss, runs up to like 80K, 90K, whatever it's going to be, and alts just bleed, I would love ETH BTC around this 0.05 level. And then that could be when Bitcoin starts to cool off and then alts start to make their run. And I don't have a problem playing like alts with leverage right now. Like there will be stuff that does well. Like Atom is up 6% today. FTM is up 8% today. So I think there will be some opportunities to trade some alts. I just don't want all my collateral in alts. In alts right now, because you're losing out in comparison to Bitcoin. So, however, that doesn't mean, like, I'm still going to be keeping an eye on, look at that, keeping an eye on Ethereum, keeping an eye on other stuff. Really nice daily open retest. Like, that would have been great for an intraday long. But from a collateral standpoint, I want more exposure to Bitcoin. And if you're underexposed to Bitcoin and overexposed to alts, you could always open up a long on Bitcoin that kind of gives you that exposure. You would just have to pay funding, but that's another way to do it. I just think having Bitcoin exposure right now is the way to go, and I don't think that is going to change for a little bit. Like, it could be a few weeks or something like that. So any alts that would run with BTC. I mean, I think Ethereum would, well, it depends. Like, I don't think there will be alts that just consistently outperform, like where their alt BTC chart is like super bullish. But you could see some that keep up. Like the other day when Bitcoin was up 8%, Sol was also up like 8% on this day. But now it's just cooling off, and if you look at the Sol BTC chart, I bet it's down like 4% today. Yeah, down 4.05%. It's kind of a scary looking chart. Maybe it'll sweep this low and then reverse. We'll see. But yeah, I just think in general you want Bitcoin exposure. What up, Wrecked Proof? Are we buying tungsten cubes? Can you buy me one? I sent you the link, Wrecked Proof, and you never replied, so. Man, this would just be such a tease if this 4-hour candle that would suck. Everything would just get wrecked if that was the case. They added a headphone jack again in the MacBook Pros. We like that. Power of 3 cause Wrecked Proof Trader main. That's epic. See, like early, like a week ago or like 4 days ago, alts all went on some pretty good runs. Like this was a really nice move from AVAX, but right now I think it's silly to not have your focus on Bitcoin. Also, if we can close the daily like up here, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to just open a long with a stop loss at like 59K. Like I tweeted about it and everyone was like, duh, like that's obvious. And I was like, well, it's obvious, but people might not execute. Like if we get above this gray level, you want Bitcoin exposure. Don't draw lines like that. But yeah, if we can successfully reclaim this gray area, I don't think it's a bad idea to add more exposure, because above that, I don't really see, like, I think the odds of Bitcoin ripping further go up. So that's kind of my point of view with it. Thanks, Jared. F the haters. Should we look at what they said? Tony got me. Oh, I need to post my I don't know why I didn't post this with my tweet. Thanks to the Wassifier who made it for me. There we go. But yeah, I really think the odds of us continuing to rip higher go up dramatically if we break through this level. And I know it's a super old level, like it's from April, but you can see that the recency, like it's still really valid based on how well it's held throughout here, like how we consolidated under it for so long before breaking out. Thanks, cuz. Assuming all-time high, what are some things you'll be looking for to indicate BTC is stalling and ready to move into alts? I think ETH BTC is going to be a good indication, like how that chart looks. And so I'll just listen to my friend Jared when he tells me to start buying alts, because he's the ETH BTC genius. Going to get rejected at 64,417. I hope not. This is crazy that in 4 hours we might have the highest daily close that we've ever had. So honestly, like other than watching this and seeing if it makes an all-time high, I didn't really have much of an agenda for the rest of this stream. Hey, if you're bullish on DYDX, this is where we want to see it hold. If it does something like this, then I would look for some longs. Failed support and then reclaim, but also it could just do something like this. So, but yeah, not a lot of alts look like awesome to me. This was a nice long from nice link long a week ago. How can you find Jared on CT? He keeps his Twitter a little low key, but I'll spill the beans. It's the low. Oh shoot, I messed up. It's the low key accounts that always drop the alpha. Buying an all-time high breakout following a correction has always worked, right? I don't know. Let's look at it. I think you mean Zort, Rez. I talked about Zort at the beginning of the stream, if you want to check that. Oh, did you guys like my target that I tweeted? I think it was pretty rad. So, all-time high breakouts after consolidations. Oh my gosh, what is all this? Is this alpha? Oh, I think this was my chart where I was like, I think 60K-ish is going to be the floor after the next bull run, or after the bull run ends. Oh. Alright, well. Is this alpha? Was past Trader Cos a genius? What is this mystery? So, I mean, I guess how are we defining an all-time high breakout, right? See, because, like, are we calling this an all-time high, this an all-time high? That's some memento stuff right there. Thanks, Buddha Fred. Like, how are we defining an all-time high breakout following a correction? You know? Yeah, I would be happy with a 10x for my spot portfolio, at least right now. I mean, I'd take it. All right, I don't know what rules we want to use for this. I can look into it later. Impossible to find Jared on my list? What do you mean? I just sent his Twitter. Right there. I'll send it again. This is TradingView. TradingView.com. All right, guys. We're doing a last minute thing where we bring Jared on again because he'll drop some alpha, some macro plays alpha. So give me a sec. I need to pause the music. I think I need to call him on Discord.
Alpha.
Jared, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Not much. Okay, hold on.
I gotta mute your
Stream?
Yeah. It's just everything was resonating 7,000 times.
Oh.
Oh my god, dude.
What?
Are we gonna do this thing? Is this gonna happen? I think it's gonna happen. I'm so
Guys,
pumped, right?
we might watch an all-time high breakout on stream today.
That's why I was like, can I come by with you? It's like I am so pumped right now. In fact, somebody just posted in the Stack Labs chat the all-time high. So I'm gonna forward it to you because I'll let you read it out. But how are you defining it? Really good point. 188 days. I didn't realize that. It's only been 188 days, which is a long time. Don't get me wrong, but 188 days from the last all-time high to now.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
In crypto land, you know? Was that a cycle? Was that
It's pretty insane. Also, How do I do this? This? I'm trying to make the sound come out of my headphones. I don't know if it's making the audio weird. Whatever. I don't care. Usually when you like plug in headphones, it just automatically switches.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. Guys who are watching, let us know how the sound quality is, and we'll pull Jared's screen on here in a little bit.
A lot of options down there. LGR.
I don't even know what they all are, to be honest.
The stream's giving me vibes on the epic Medal of Honor LAN parties about You got some good vibes. You got some good comments in your stream, man.
We got some good people. I think they're mostly from the Discord, so it's already like you can't hear Jared. Oh no. Why didn't someone say that earlier? Wait, say something, Jared.
Hello, check 2.
Okay, I think I gotta fix something. Jared sounds like he's far away. Okay, yeah, I know what I need to fix. I need the audio output to be this.
It sounds like he's in a toilet. Yikes.
Wait, okay, no, that's not the one. Output device, that. All right, now say something.
Check 2.
Ooh,
how we doing?
Okay, I think
Better?
it's working. But I don't hear you anymore, so give me just a sec.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, so I'm getting trolled by your comment section while you're fixing that already. Hector comes in with can you ask Jared to give us another lunar cycle TA?
They say... Okay, why can't... Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Audio routing sucks. I know I suck, you guys. Come on, just let me figure this out. Oh no. I think they're mad. Wait, no. I think I got it to work and then... Oh boy. I don't know if it's still good. They're saying good, but I think that's a little delayed. Audio output capture. Add source. Add a new source. Add... What is this called? What am I... Realtek 8. Oh, that's what it is. Done. Okay. Now say something.
Hello.
Okay.
Somebody in my chat says it's good. So I think you're probably the one.
I think I think it's good. Like I figured it out to switch. Like my Streamlabs thing, it shows audio output and nothing. Like no sound thing was showing up there.
Sure.
But now I think it's good.
Nice.
So I'm gonna give people 30 seconds. This guy says, "Leave it, let the man speak." Guys, I'm trying to figure out how to let him speak.
Hello, everybody. This is Jared. Not Jared from Subway. Not the lunar cycle trading guy or any other troll comments that were made a moment ago. Do I like Elon and Doge? That's Joao trolling me again because I want to rant about Elon. No, I'm not underwater. I am not in a toilet. Okay, how about that? How are we feeling?
I think I figured it out.
All right, there we go. So whatever you just did, Kaz.
Yeah.
Remember that. Kaz is here for the tech. It's hilarious. Hello, can I pay you to receive signals? That's got to be for you. That can't be for me.
That can't be for me.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'm just kidding. It probably is, but I just told them that I will buy alts when you tell me to. So if they paid for my signals, it's basically your stuff anyway.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, man. So anyway, nobody missed like my straight up awe, which is what I came in hot with because it wasn't working. But like, it's only been 188 days since we were here before. Like that trips me out. That's nothing.
It is nothing.
Those dark days
it felt
at the
like
bottom,
so long.
Oh, it was so bad. So yeah, I was, this is so exciting to me. I literally had the thought earlier that I don't think any of us are prepared for what's about to happen. I don't think anybody's prepared. Like you said, funding is like essentially like neutral right now.
Right, which is absurd. And for those of you that I have a
Pull
good
that up again. You have that still or not?
I have that, and I have a good video explaining funding, which I'll let
Even
people
better.
watch really quick.
Yeah,
It's
for sure,
like
do
a
it.
minute and a half.
Cool.
Let's see. Here we go. All right. I wonder if the sound of this is going to work.
Funding explained in
Find
2
out, huh?
minutes or less. Whenever I tweet about funding, I always get a few questions by people being paid funding if Bitcoin has been on such a tear.
I have no idea if it's
funding
working.
can be, I mean, there's a going on, guys. Is
Anyway,
and this
Ignore. I don't know if I can't hear it in my head.
I can't hear anything either.
You
All right,
can
we'll
hear
go
it?
to just pull
Guys,
it up.
let me know if you could hear that briefly when I let it play for a sec. Because if so, I'll just let it play, and you guys can hear it. But here's the funding rates right now. And I don't know if you wanted to comment on it, since I was kind of talking about it earlier already.
So I think I am. So they were. Well, so I'm looking at your screen, but I'm delayed versus us talking about it. So I can't actually see it on your screen right now. It'll come up in a moment when you pull to it, though.
Oh, it sounds like It sounds like they could hear the audio on the Twitter video.
Oh, got it.
So I'm gonna play that
yeah.
for them.
Okay. All right, I'll stop. Now, so like literally your screen just brought up the funding rates live. So when you said we want to comment on those, it just showed up for me.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I'm gonna play this. I hope the volume's good, and we'll see what happens.
Hold on, guys. It's Trader Cause, and this is funding explained in 2 minutes or less. Whenever I tweet about funding, I always get a few questions by people asking what funding is or how it works, and so I kind of wanted to knock all those birds out with the same stone by recording a quick video. So basically, funding is a mechanism used by exchanges to keep futures price near the spot price. You don't have to worry about this when you are trading spot. You can still use it as confluence in trades, and I'll get to that in a moment, but you don't have to worry about paying or being paid funding if you're not trading futures. So essentially, when a lot of people are long, longs are paying shorts. When a lot of people are short, shorts are paying longs in its simplest form. So right now, as you can see, funding is positive all across the board for Bitcoin, and that means that longs are paying shorts. These are actually pretty high rates, as the normal funding rate is 0.01% every 8 hours. And so these are a little high, but that's kind of to be expected because Bitcoin has been on such a tear. Funding can be, there's a pretty good amount of alpha in funding because it's something that happens every 8 hours. You know when it's going to happen, and so you can kind of start to study the price action around when it happens. When you start trading really big position sizes, funding can be a really large sum of money, and so sometimes you'll see people buy or sell right around funding to avoid the fee, to avoid paying funding. I like to use funding as confluence for trades, specifically higher time frame trades, but I would never use it just by itself in the same way that you would never use RSI just by itself. RSI can stay overbought for a really long time, just like funding can stay positive for a really long time, but it can give you clues because eventually shorts will add up because they want to be paid this funding, and you'll see drops because of it, and vice versa. But I hope that quick explanation helps.
All right. So that was the funding video.
Hold on, guys.
I hope.
I got lonely there for a bit.
I know, me too. I was so bored. Just watching myself talk on my phone, but like old me from January me.
I couldn't even hear it, you know?
Dude, actually, January. So funding was super high when I took this video. It was January 13th.
Yeah, we still kept ripping for like a long time.
Right, yeah. So that's like we were at 30-something K and funding was just crazy high. Okay. Let me make sure that doesn't keep going. All right. I hope that was helpful. And now a video inside a video. I know. Is YouTube gonna come at me for some copyright claim because I played a video? They've done it before.
I get flagged every time I stream for copyright infringement. I just accept it as part of the deal.
Yeah. You just can't do the like monetize whatever.
Yeah.
This stream is an Inception level event.
It does kind of feel that way.
It does. All right. I've now pulled up the current funding on my screen.
Okay.
If,
It's gonna take me a second to see it. Just,
I can send you the link too.
Yeah, that's fine.
I use
And
the view based one. I don't know if you use a.
I don't look
different
at. I honestly don't look at funding that often, except for when it gets really crazy.
Yeah.
And the point is now that it's not crazy.
Dude,
Okay.
do you want to know something crazy?
I
Which
would.
I would sound like a complete LARP tweeting about this now in hindsight, but I had a tweet in my drafts from like July when we were at 30K and everything just looked horrible. And I was like, I bet Bitcoin makes a new all-time high in November. And I saw it a week ago when I was looking at my tweet drafts, and I was like, why did I never tweet that? Because that would be the best thing to retweet right now.
Oh, dude, you know how great that'd be if you could add that to the feature that you just showed.
Right? That'd be great.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could go to the drafts right now while sharing your screen and show everybody that's sitting there, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And now I deleted it because I was pissed.
Yeah, I would be pissed about that too. But yeah, I mean, funding is almost that's so by the way, we're at 64. I mean, we're $800 away. It's on the index, no less. I look at the index.
Oh, so
Okay.
maybe
You're gonna want to go back to
okay. I'm watching it up there because 64.9 is the all-time high.
Yeah, I have 64,898 on the index, and we're at 64,220. I mean, we're on the freaking precipice.
What better way to break all-time high than with all your friends in a stream?
I know, man. It's really
epic.
bananas. Now, did we just, were there 2 outs in the 9th inning, and we're like, hey, man, a wonderful no hitter going. That's what I worry about with us doing this right now. Being like, hey, man, no hitter, one more out, good stuff. Just one more guy, and you got it. That one more guy can hit a single right up the middle, or worse yet, a game-tying home run.
Is this about to be a Armando Galarraga type of incident?
You know what, man? First off, there's 3 guys that know what you're talking about.
Did I just ruin your day by bringing that up?
Yeah, you kind of did. But by the way, based on the velocity of what I'm seeing, I give a 2% chance that we don't bring all-time highs right now.
2%? That's not bad.
Yeah, so I feel it's going to happen right now. So
dude, my tweet about those punks got 10,000 likes.
What?
Yeah. And I literally I recycled it because it was one of my own tweets from a long time ago, but now that punks blew up again, I was like, it's probably time to talk about this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Anyway,
so
do you want to give a quick thing on funding?
Yeah, I was going to say is that it's reasonable to expect that funding will run again when people are FOMOing into the move that Bitcoin makes. So essentially what we're saying is it took 65 to 30 essentially to wipe out the clowns so badly psychologically that we got back here again and it's still neutral. Not really. It neutralized well before that. My point is that even though we've had a crazy run, the last time you and I streamed, Bitcoin was $24,000. Yeah, it was $24,000 less than it is right now. That was 1 month ago.
What day was it? Wasn't it right around here?
It was
September 26th, 4th?
Yeah, 27? First, second, third, fourth. I don't know, it was somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was somewhere when we were right above 40K.
Yeah, that's right. And so somebody's asking me about ETH BTC. I promise you I will give my input. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And we can
stay with me.
We can get your screen up.
Sure. So, what I'm going for here with funding is it's not something that I use constantly because I don't scalp trade that often. I'm a swing trader, right? That's something I'm more looking at, and usually it's a leverage wipeout because of funding that gives me an entry. So that's what I look for, and then I'm working back up as funding's moving the opposite direction. So that's generally how I look for entries, right? But the damage was so bad from 65 effectively down to 30, that we're back at all-time highs and funding is like essentially neutral. So if you think about the psychological side of trading, we haven't even hit the FOMO yet on this. Okay.
Right. Because funding is so chill. Basically.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that's
Absolutely.
that's how you can quantify the FOMO.
Right.
Not saying the funding's low because, I think they get what I'm saying.
And like, is that an exact like 1-to-1? No, but it's a good like
Pretty dang
baseline,
close. Because
right?
everyone's always tweeting, and this is funny that I just said everyone's always tweeting. But like people will tweet saying like, oh, everyone's long right now, everyone's short right now. But if funding's neutral, then their statement is just like incorrect. Like
100%
funding
false. That's right.
is literally telling you how many people are long versus short.
Yeah.
And right now, it's pretty flat. So
it's pretty flat, right? And open interest is rising, which you can take that either way. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to rip. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be short. It's just an indicator. But price going up, open interest rising, funding staying negative or neutral, I like it. Okay, like those things together are a good confluence of events. But whether or not we make all-time highs now, we just retraced a little bit because obviously I did the 2 outs in the 9th jinx. But like I still think it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen right now, maybe they hang on until 7 p.m. Central tonight or 5 p.m. your time to wait for a new day. I don't really care. Either way, I think it's going to happen, right?
Right.
And then you'll see the crazy shit start happening again. And if you're into alts, this is why I'm so in touch with ETH BTC is you have to think about what happens when these things move. And people think that like the air's already been taken out of alts. You have no idea what's about to happen to alts. If we get a true price discovery breakout for Bitcoin, like a true one, not some fake nonsense where we go a few $1,000 under and then there's like some enormous Darth Maul and like, oh my God, that was a fake and we just got crushed, which could happen. Like, let's be honest. But
that would be something.
It would be, I don't think it'd be permanent, but like it would, it could definitely delay us a little bit. But the damage that Bitcoin does to alts is something that like, it's like a lesson that I think Bitcoin needs to teach again right now. So people will not make this mistake again about being underexposed to Bitcoin, because I think most people are right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not even just to be clear, guys, like I am the furthest thing from a Bitcoin maxi. People don't know me. So I'm gonna say that.
No, yeah, go for it.
Literally the furthest thing from a Bitcoin maxi. I think Bitcoin is super antiquated. I think there's very little technology that can be built on top of it. I think that essentially it is what it is. It is digital gold and Lightning Network stupid and all the cool stuff's being built in Ethereum and other side chains. Okay. So all that being said, I think Bitcoin is pretty dumb as a technology now, but it was the first one there and it's what people rely upon and it's where money goes. Okay. So just I'm going to call that what it is. And 85% of my portfolio right now is in Bitcoin.
Love it.
So, and that's been an extremely plus EV play from 40,000, really since 28 up, but definitely from 40,000 to here.
Right, like if you compare, and yeah, this doesn't mean that all USD pair alts are going to get crushed. Like they're not going to nuke like it's a bit, well, most likely. But
no, but versus
versus Bitcoin, they're going to go down.
Versus Bitcoin, they're going to get destroyed. Versus Ethereum, they're going to get destroyed too. So, yeah, you can hold on to your alt bag that you love because, you think it's the next great thing. Like, that's fine. I'm going to take this 40% move in Bitcoin and I'm going to buy a lot more. Like, that's...
Right.
Do you follow Secrets of Crypto? I assume you have
familiar. Secrets of... Is it one...
I think it's, I don't know. I'm watching me get this wrong.
With the with the hat, yellow hat?
Yes, dude. Okay. Secrets of Crypto is literal alt legend. Okay?
I just followed him.
You need to, and all your people need to as well. Okay, right. Secrets of Crypto.
You hear that?
He tweets like 12 times a year. Okay.
Really?
So, yeah. But every time he does, you should get excited.
Gosh, what a genius. Okay. So, notifications on.
Notifications on. He rarely ever tweets. And when he does, it's alt fire. He knows the money flow from Bitcoin to Ethereum to alts. He calls it perfectly. And then, like, during the last bear market from 17 to now, dude just wrote out. Like, you didn't hear from him.
Right.
and then he came back and nailed it again. And it was like, oh my God, this guy's just a legend. Like he's probably on an island in the Maldives or something, like just absolutely crushing life. I don't know who he is. No idea.
Good for the kid.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. So where are we now? 664. Oh, could we really get this far and not do it?
Could you imagine if the lower high meme plays out?
Dude. No, I can't.
I feel like it's kind of a perfect storm, just like with everything that's happening, Bitcoin adoption in the real world, like it makes sense for this to rip. But hey, who knows? Who knows?
Which, by the way, if you bought the dip on Bitto today, the ETF, you'd be up 5% your first day. So that's not a bad break for people who just wanted to get into the ETF because it launched.
Wow, I'm down bad on a Bitcoin ETF. It's called Bitwise.
Okay.
Bitwise 10 crypto index, whatever. And I bought it in my Roth IRA because I was like, why not get some tax-free Bitcoin exposure? And turns out it was just trading at a massive premium because all the hype, and it's down like 50% from where I got it. So
yeah, that's tough. That'll come back.
But yeah, I'm looking for that. Like it's literally trading at a discount right now. The net asset value is $59.64, and the market price of the ETF is $52.
Isn't GPTC doing that too right now too, or it was anyway?
Let me look it up. I mean, it's up 7% today, and my Bitwise is down today.
What?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh
They're trash.
God.
I'm kind of. But I mean,
I want to cut that bag on the next big pump. Move.
Yeah, no, that's the idea. If this rips to like 80, 90K, whatever, and Bitcoin's just like the hottest thing in the news, then I just think it'll be be big. Like I think it'll get to a fat premium again just because of like retail hype.
Oh, for sure.
Except now, like, why wouldn't you buy GBTC or the BTFD, which is epic name, by the way.
It's the best name I've ever heard of anything in my life. Period.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal.
And by the way, think about this for a moment. Okay, so I'm a little bit older than you. Well, I'm going to be generous and call myself a little bit older than you. But there's a lot of people that are like, teens into their 20s that are like riding crypto and like it's part of their life now. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the amount of like Satoshis that are going to be named, and the Vitaliks, and the this is Jared BTFD Phillips, okay? Like that, like that stuff's going to happen, and we're going to read about it in the news, man, because crypto is going to change lives, and people are going to name their kids that shit.
That would be pretty crazy.
It's going to happen. Like the Satoshi is going to be like the 25th most popular middle name. I swear to God, it will be. There's going to be like a couple years there where a bunch of millionaires name their kids Satoshi.
Elon names his son Doge.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. I can't even pronounce the first one. But yeah, I'm so unbelievably pumped about this. I found myself doing like dumb stuff earlier today. Like I was looking for property in Portugal, and I was like, all right, I need to stop.
Oh boy,
I need to stop doing this.
But it happens.
It does happen. But literally, that's how bullish I am about where we are relative to funding, relative to opportunity. I mean, my God, look at this. We're back at 64.2 right now.
This looks good. If the entire stream just adds a little more leverage exposure, we might be able to push it. Should I do it?
So good.
To
add some more?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, why not? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm still open from that dip that I bought. That I told you about. I sent you a screenshot of it. Where I was like, yeah, I'll take this, and it was literally the bottom.
Right.
Just accidentally, kind of.
And I forgot to buy.
Yeah. But it wasn't the size that I wanted, so I did add another like $500,000 a little bit ago. So I queued myself up.
There we go.
And I'm ready to see this thing launch, man. I think that it's gonna be just absolutely nuts.
I do too. Feels like New Year's Eve right now.
It does, dude. I'm excited. I slept for shit last night too, because I think I was like messaging you, and you were like, "Jared, shut up. I'm hanging out with my family." And I was like, "I think it's gonna happen." And I like stayed up late, and I slept for 4 hours and woke up early, and I was like, "Is it? Is it here?"
I know.
When it wasn't here, like
It's
anyway.
with our luck, Bitcoin will smash all-time highs and go to 70K all while we're watching the Red Wings game.
Oh my god. Yeah, my wife is working late tonight too.
There
So
you
it's
go.
gonna be me and my son watching the Wings game and like eating food and celebrating. And he's 4, but he's a good time to hang out with.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Come on, 250. Somebody, just a little more. Just a little more.
I'm catching up with the chat a little bit. How old am I? People ask that in every single stream. I'm 24 still,
Mhm.
and not until next year that age stays the same. So
Just so you know, I am 50% older than Kaz. So I have 50% more, but I don't have 50% more experience. So Kaz is ahead of his time.
you might.
Do I? No, I don't know.
Dude, you've been trading for like 11 years.
Yeah.
I have
I've been
not.
trading
I haven't been trading for 7, so you're over 50% more. But with crypto, but you
Crypto,
probably,
I was late, dude. I was late on crypto.
right.
Yeah.
You told me you were 21, liar. No, I didn't.
Damn.
Trader Methuselah cause. Dang, you're young. Yeah, I am
What
a
is
little.
Methuselah? Dude, what's wrong with being young? Are you kidding me?
Methuselah
I
is-
wish.
Yeah. Methuselah is the oldest person to ever live, 960 something years.
Oh, we're getting biblical up in here?
We are.
Nice.
So some people might agree with that age, some may not, but it's not up to me.
Carolina Sticks? I see some of
Not
the
up to
cats
me.
from my Telegram in here, too. I've seen a few. Joao actually came over. He's been a cool addition to Dak Labs. Good guy.
And
He gave me a nice...
Someone
Nice
asked
place.
for a Discord invite, so I think that's what I'm gonna. You know how I like have it closed and I'm not really
Yes.
posting invites.
Yes,
I
sir.
think I'm gonna start posting like 100 use invites into the Discord chat when I stream, because it's like these are the people who should be allowed in the Discord.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's definitely... Yeah. Because you know what happens. I mean, of course you know what happens. Is like somebody bots it or finds it and shares it and they just grab them all up. They're not even
Right.
good productive members.
So I just sent a 100 use invite to the Discord that expires in an hour. So
Let's go. Use it.
should I tweet
Use
and
it.
tell people? Nah. Because then we get the people that I wouldn't really want.
That's right. Come in here and they're gonna be like, "Where's the invite? I want to get in, man."
Right. I'm gonna do the. I'll drop some in the stream, and then every now and then, I'll drop like a 50 use, and just whoever's on notifications who like really wants. Like, it's all about people who want to be a part of the community, because then those are the people who would contribute and stuff like that.
100%.
When is Cos
hun-
buying Bayern Munich?
Oh, dude.
Let's see. Let's see how much that is worth.
We really need, dude. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
64, 315. Come on.
Okay, so we need about $4 billion.
4 billion. That's all right. We can scrape that together on crypto Twitter. Let's go.
That'd be funny.
Mm,
How much
you
are
know
the
what's funny?
How much are the Red Wings? Should we buy the Red Wings?
Dude, there's no way Illich family. Like, here's the thing about the Illiches.
Yeah, that's true. We could
They
buy.
don't give a shit about the Tigers. Now they do. I mean, like they're starting to care more. So like you got a much better chance of buying the Tigers than you do at buying the Red Wings.
We could probably buy the Lions.
Well, yeah, but who would want to?
Well,
That's the
imagine like we'd be legends.
Yeah, but so here's the thing about the Lions. And by the way, nobody wants to hear us talk about Detroit sports. So
But
just
they do
not up
want to know how big of a top signal this is that we're talking about buying a sports team.
there. Yeah, it's pretty high. I mean, by the way, all things being equal, like if I had a cajillion dollars, would I buy a sports team? Maybe.
I for
But-
sure would. I think that's a great investment.
I mean, it is on the right time frame, but like I don't want to be involved in the day-to-day running a business of a sports team. I want to hire smart people and have them do it.
That's true.
So it would really be more like, give me like 8%, 10% of the team, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Then you can sit in the meetings. You always have a suite. Like, that's pretty nice.
Buddha Fred, I'm saying if we turned around the Lions, we'd be legends. We wouldn't be legends for buying them.
Jared, why do you sound so arrogant? Why do we mean arrogant?
I don't think he said anything arrogant. His name's Royal, though, so maybe it's Kansas City Royals, so maybe he just doesn't like us.
That's possible. That's
My
possible. Yeah, your name's
longest
Royal. Literal royalty. That's
that does sound a little arrogant.
Who among us, my friend? Throwing stones, yo. You got a deep voice. People think it's, I don't know, something.
Yeah, owning an NFL team it is crazy. I just looked up on Forbes, and the Lions, they say, are worth $2.5 billion, which is
An absolute joke.
It feels like a lot.
So you're telling me that world champion almost like every third year Bayern Munich is only worth 3
right?
Detroit Lions? Are you kidding me?
Right?
Complete joke.
Yeah, that is kind of dumb.
It's a complete joke. I can't even. So there was a lot of talk about by the Jaguars, a great team. That's actually my buddy in real life right there. He lives in Jacksonville. So
we like Trevor Lawrence.
I do like Trevor Lawrence. You know, if Urban would stop cheating on his wife, they probably could win a couple more games.
Trevor needs to send him a few more Bible verses, I think.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So somebody asked about alts, and there's so much apprehension on this that you cannot overthink this, right? You can't overthink this. The easiest play is the best play, is it not?
Pretty much.
The easiest play right now is to look at the largest market cap token in the world, coin in the world, and it's nearing all-time highs, right? So if you're looking at Bitcoin nearing all-time highs with neutral funding and a lot of crazy potential catalysts on the horizon, like, why would you ever be doing anything else? And the thing is, you know, last time I was on, we talked about targets, and I don't know, my target was like 80 grand. I think maybe 90. We were about the same.
Oh yeah, I think we lined up pretty well on that.
Yeah. But even if let's say we ripped, and it's not going to happen, but I'm throwing out a hypothetical. If we ripped immediately to $80,000, like in the next week, I'm not rotating on a straight power move right there. It's not how it works. It's not line up, line down, right?
Right.
There will be ways for you to see the rotation happening. And that's kind of where ETH BTC comes in. So I don't know if you want to pull it up or whatever, we can talk about it, but
yeah. Do you want your screen, or do you want me to just put it on mine? Like, you want the daily or something? Or you can send me a chart.
I don't really care. Let me see what
if you send me a chart, I can pull that up.
Okay.
Kai90 says buy VfB Stuttgart. That's a good idea. Actually.
Oh yeah? Are they?
Well, I mean, it's the local team where my family in Germany lives.
Oh yeah?
And only 190 mil.
What?
According to Statista, they're not.
I mean,
they're not big enough to be on Forbes. So
that's a plus EV play, just because the number's going to go up on merchandising over time, and like TV rights, right?
Yeah, I just need 190 mil liquid.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, no problem after the cycle's done.
Do people take loans to buy sports teams?
Yes, dude. People don't just straight.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So let me. All right.
Okay, we can't actually be talking about buying a sports team. We'll save this conversation for when Bitcoin hits 100K.
Yeah, for sure. All right. How difficult would it be for you to pass over control? Would it be like impossible?
No, it's easy. It just gets a little blurry. If you just share your screen on your on Discord, then I pull yours over.
Oh God, this is the right one. Oh, okay, I got you.
It's okay. You're on my other monitor right now, so I can tell you when you're owning a double A or single A baseball team would be kind of
It
cool.
would be fun. No
Yeah.
joke.
That would be
It could
cool.
be super fun.
Okay, your screen is up. Let me get the pop out, and then
I'll throw in $500. Hey, that's good.
I like it. I just need these to hide. Okay, it might get a little. All right, I think we're good.
We'll let it regulate here.
Yeah, I'll wait till my geckos can buy me a sports team.
There you go. Probably not that long away based on the trajectory of that.
Right.
But really quickly, just on wealth, when people make huge purchases like that, they leverage and finance as much of it as possible.
Right.
So you take what you can and you literally just try to borrow what you can at all times and pay it back, right? So yeah, you actually don't need, you do need a lot, but you don't need that much. So I see that I'm on screen now.
Like 50 mil liquid to buy a 200.
Probably not even that, because part of it's like a raise, right? Like you would go around and say, look, I'm going to buy Stuttgart and it's $150 million. I'm putting down 15 million. Do you guys want to get in? I'm going to be the majority share. You probably could raise another 15 million overnight. Now you got 30. Finance the rest of the debt. Like, it's super easy to do. This is what people don't understand about wealth in this country, is that people are like, oh, I want to pay off my house because then I won't have any debt.
And I'm
that's
like,
the
no, I
exact
want
opposite.
debt.
Absolutely. Like, the US dollar is a joke.
Yeah, I love debt.
More debt is good if you are responsible, right?
Correct.
So yeah, look what the Glazers did to Man United. That's true. That's where it goes wrong, right? But it's a different story here.
True.
So I have on my screen the ETH-BTC chart, which I'm just going to go pull back a little bit, and it's kind of busy, but I think you guys will get the idea here. And this line that I'm highlighting is a TRL. It's a topping resistance line. And I made this point last time we were on, that this little bubble here in summer of 2020 was DeFi summer. So we had DeFi summer, and all it took was a little pop from Ethereum versus Bitcoin to come all the way around. But this move on this topping resistance line is where things really popped off for Ethereum, okay, versus Bitcoin. So it's kind of where decisions have been made on Ethereum for a long time. Because think about it, this is going back to last summer. You got 1, 2, you have a deviation here, shot over, came back down, up again, down, and then finally it broke out. You go, all right, yeah, sweet. So there's a lot of things that happened. Yeah, so it did. But we just lost it for the first time since the breakout in May. Since the breakout in May. It's the first time that we have lost this line here, which is not nothing, guys. Like, it's not a primary indicator, but it is certainly a secondary indicator, because this line has been respected for 5 months. And we just lost this line. In fact, I noticed this earlier today, that we broke down yesterday. We tried to regain it today, and it rejected. Which means, like, for everybody who's sitting at home thinking, I need to rotate into alts because this is it, you are super early. You're super early, right? This is going to be a crazy run. It's going to be a crazy run. So you have this like channel, handle, whatever it is, all the way down. And I have these 3 levels along the way. The first level that I put was this line, and it reacted there the first time. Boom, came back up to the SR flip, back down. This second line here is a little bit of alpha that I use. And it's where I'm expecting there to be support the next time, essentially in the pivot here, in the pocket, right? And I'm not even sure that holds. So I've seen some crazy predictions. Some, like Flood today said, and you might have seen this, Kaz, Flood said what, 0.03?
That seems a bit aggressive.
Yeah. So
I didn't see.
are we gonna hold 2? I don't know. Maybe we get the bounce at 2. Like Bitcoin just has a go, and we get down here to 0.058, and it pops back up again at the top of the channel and comes back down further. But I would be very, very shocked to see us give up this market structure that was built from this crazy, crazy breakout from May, and just give that all up and go back down into this area. Can it happen? Sure. But where I'm really seriously going to be looking for reversals are numbers 2 and 3. So 2 and 3, in my view, are 0.058 and 0.055. And 0.055 is where I think it makes sense, because that's the bottom of this range. And you could see wicks down further, 0.052 or whatever. But I think, and I know you talk about this too, it's not just, is there an area that's interesting? Is there a reversal pattern? And I talked about this yesterday on my stream. This is a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. We have a downtrend. So this is all I will say, and this is what should keep everybody at home sleeping great about their decision to rotate into Bitcoin, or not necessarily rotate into Ethereum right now. Even if you miss the lows, which I don't even think I'll catch the exact lows, all you need to find is the trend reversal. And it doesn't have to be the day that it happens, right?
True.
Catch the higher low on a trend reversal. Boom. You're going to catch 80% of the move. And that's it. And be looking for alts while you do it. It's worth being exposed to Bitcoin while you find the higher low that changes the current trend in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Until then, enjoy your win on Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
let it ride.
Let it ride. Yeah, I've traded this pretty well for a long time. And I said this, I think last time I was on, but I talked about it on my Telegram. On this day, I'm going to go back. I know it blurries up. I actually saw it for the first time because I have it on the next screen, so my bad. I'll try to not do it anymore.
I think once it stays on the same screen, it gets better.
It's fine.
But
yeah. So if you had put in $1,000 in Ethereum on January 1st and traded it back and forth on trend reversals to where we are right now, it'd be conservatively, not even selling the highs or buying the lows, you'd be over 50x. Over 50x on $1,000. Literally no leverage, no anything. And all you did was play this chart. By the way, it's really more like 65x.
In USD.
In USD.
Right.
You would be up 15x in your tokens, though.
Jeez.
15x in your tokens, over 50x overall, without an ounce of leverage used. And all you're doing is playing Ethereum and Bitcoin against each other. It is the simplest plan there is, but it requires patience and discipline. And this is kind of what I'm all about. So, take that for what it is. Use it, don't use it. But I am not interested in rotating until I see something between 2 and 3 and a trend reversal. Until then, man, let's Bitcoin to the moon. Let's get rich.
Yeah. Just let it ride.
Just let it ride.
And if you want to try and, I think for swapping collateral, definitely wait for the higher low. But if you're like, I think Ethereum looks good here, you can still be holding your Bitcoin collateral and punt a leverage long on Ethereum to get yourself that exposure that you want. So
there's a ton of ways to do it. That's a great point, man. It's a great point. Open up some, a little bit of a perp long on Ethereum, or rotate some in USD, whatever it is, and keep both of them as you go. But I think, and look, this happened to me too. I didn't catch this perfectly last time, but I did catch DeFi Summer, and I saw that. I saw how powerful a move and momentum on ETH-BTC can be for alts, and there's just no point in trying to front run it, because it's very clear when it happens.
Yeah.
By the way, Fred, I actually do, but this chart is more like an annotation. This is not like a trading chart. This is like what I use to explain the concept to people. I have one that's more of a reduced. Yeah. conversation because I do not like to have a ton of stuff on my chart. So,
what do we think about AVAX? We're bullish, but not right this second. Also, yeah, it got crushed against Ethereum.
Yeah, I mean that's, and I know they're behind it, but
they'll see it.
Is Jared scaring me? Cons, are you flipping to alts to be if it breaks out, if it isn't too late? So you touched on that a moment ago, or like before I came on, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, like, I guess I don't know which part exactly. I think.
So how do you manage it right now? I have alts too, by the way. So I said I'm 85% Ethereum. I'm 85% Bitcoin, not 100%.
Right.
But you know what? So
I think
go over that again. Yeah.
I think if you want Bitcoin exposure right now, like let's say you hold 50K of Ethereum and 50K of Bitcoin, just using 2 coins to make it simple to talk about this, and say you want to have like 80% Bitcoin exposure, you could open a long on Bitcoin to give yourself more Bitcoin exposure and then try and sell off some of your spot Ethereum like when it bounces a little bit. Like I don't know. And Jared might have a different opinion, but I'm not a huge fan of like selling something when it's kind of in a free fall. So if we look back at that ETH BTC chart, I think at that first possible bounce zone that he was talking about, at 2.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What's that, 0.058?
Yep, 0.058.
Yeah, so like if we get a bounce there, then I think you can be like, all right, we got a little bit of a bounce. Now's a good time to swap some Ethereum to Bitcoin. But while it's like nuking like this, I would rather open a Bitcoin long to create some Bitcoin long exposure instead of possibly selling low. Because if it bounces from there up to like 0.065 or wherever it might be, then that's when you do that collateral switch.
Yeah, it's a good point. So we're talking about 2 different things here. One's like capturing the move, right, in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Another one is a collateral switch, which I talked about last time, because on FTX, it doesn't matter what you use your collateral on. You can hold a ton of Ethereum collateral, trade whatever you like. It settles in USD, and then you can add to your stack, which is super nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to trade FTX, I personally trade Bybit. I think you do as well, right? Yeah, they're sponsors. So Bybit.
For the yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us have everything.
I trade Bybit for everything that I can, but I still trade Sol and FTT and those like other Sam coins on FTX because that's kind of the only place I can do it. But
to talk about missed opportunity, if Bybit had added perps a long time ago, I would have never switched.
Right.
You know?
They could have. And
yeah, they're making up for it now, which is great to see. And like Ben and those guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Big fan.
Absolutely. So yeah.
I wish they gave fee discounts though.
I know.
It's a bummer. They give some. Again, I mean, yeah.
Small advantages of like staking FTT, which is pretty much where all my FTT is. But you can take that a few different ways. So
yeah.
And
for instance, just going off of that, Jared just mentioned staking FTT. I also stake FTT, and I'm not because that's a long-term thing. I don't care if alts cycle down for a bit, So that's another thing to think about when you're thinking about where you want your exposure. If you're holding some alt that you have an investment thesis about, it's not invalidated just because alts might have a cycle down for a little bit. You can still hang on. I'm not selling any Apex. I'm not selling my FTT. I'm not I still have a bunch of AVAX exposure, and I'm kind of just gonna ride through it. I'm comfortable with a pullback over the next month or 2 months, but I still have my same longer term investment thesis that these are good holds for the next X amount of years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have, I've talked to you about it, I've talked to other people about it. I have a fairly large position in Manifold, which a lot of people do. But Manifold's essentially an ARB MEV alt. Okay. So that pays dividends to holders. I'm not liquidating that because there's about to be a ton of activity in alts eventually, and I want to catch that dividend. Okay. So no, I'm not selling that. It's gonna catch MEV and essentially make money for me for ARBs on sushi. Why would I sell that when people are going to be messing around with it forever, right? It's just not worth it. So there's plenty of stuff that I will hold on to, but the point is, if you're like, I don't really know about this. Yeah, I think it could go up. Like, you probably should cut it, move into Bitcoin, or find something else. Quite frankly. So somebody asked about trend reversal really quick, and it's very, very simple, and I'm sure most of you know this. But so just really quick, right? That's a downtrend, okay? That is a series of lower lows and lower highs. So what does it look like when you see a trend reversal? It's so that's where inverse head and shoulders come from. That is where a higher low is formed, or maybe you take this out. In fact, I want to change that last drawing because it might look something like this, where you come back up to this zone, come back down, and you get a higher low and a breakout. So you could target this. So I didn't get the bottom, but I got the first higher low and a trend reversal. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do this, because even if so, the irrationality of traders is hysterical to me, because everybody thinks that the breakout is going to always the trend reversal. I'm sorry, is always going to look like this. But this is one candle, okay? So this is March 28th to May 15th, literally 45 days of up only on Ethereum. Yeah, I was already in Ethereum here, but I actually bought back here when this falling wedge broke out. So it went up and it came back down, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut this.
And honestly, well, I'll let you finish your thought. And then...
But the point is, like, I almost missed on that, and then it came up and it moved over and it broke out and it moved over and it broke up. So like, you don't have to catch the first one. You have to be patient. You have to be planned.
Right.
I know you talk about journaling and knowing about doing the right thing at the right time as much as I do, and it's like, just don't be the guy who's like, son of a bitch, I didn't think about any of this. I'm gonna FOMO my whole stack in now. Oh no, right? Like that's who you
go back really quick in your chart.
Yep, sorry.
Just to no, you're good. But that spot, it looks like April 19th when it flips that 0.038. Yep. That region of consolidation, that would have been a great buy-in, and also like very high conviction in terms of this consolidated for a while and clearly has broken out of that range down there.
That's right. So like, would it be better? Because look at this, like, just for the sake of the conversation, would it be better down here? Yeah, of course. It's a 27% move. Oh gosh, it's already happened. All right, so let's say you didn't catch it here. Where did it end up going? Sorry, guys. It was only 111% move instead of 174%.
Right, you just doubled your Bitcoin stack.
Are you kidding me right now? And that's the point of this game.
Right, and if you get stopped out 3 times trying to catch that bottom, then that also factors into things.
Absolutely. So again, like, I moved over here. It came up, and I was like, woo, I'm a genius. Came right back down. I was scared here, like, no cap. I was like, oh my God, we're going back down to 0.024. And I messed up. This is not good. But we did never lose the level. You saw these demand waves coming down, stayed vigilant, and boom, right back up.
Nice sweep on that one candle.
Absolutely. Nice sweep down. And like, this whole area on the left side was a large consolidation zone down. You thought it was falling, and boom, right back up, had a breakout from it, came back down to retest. Like, as you know, when you're into this stuff a little bit longer, whenever you see demand zones or supply zones, they're usually tested from the other side to be like, were you guys serious? Are you going to show up with more money and defend this again? And it doesn't always happen that way. And that time it did. So that's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Yeah,
definitely solid. So like, he was kind of like, back to the first collateral switch question.
Yes,
like, right now, I wouldn't exit panic Ethereum.
No, you don't have to.
I think the time to do that, if you were gonna, was on that pump a few days ago, like 5 days ago, whatever it was.
Yep.
But now you don't want to sell right by the possible low. Like, I think there's a decent chance that this, at some point in the next week to 2 weeks, is trading high, or like trading above 0.06 for at least a little bit, whether it's a bounce that just gets rejected or whatever. So yeah, I wouldn't make rash decisions on your spot conversions.
No doubt about it. And it's, the thing is, fighting yourself is the biggest game, guys. Like, I can't even stress that enough. Your own emotions are what's going to screw you over, and it's just having a plan and thinking about it. Like AVAX ETH, AVAX ETH I'm friends with Ledger. You know that. I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
nice small trading group with Ledger Status and Messi and a bunch of those guys. And I sold AVAX here, pretty much the top.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me a nice shout out for calling that top. Well, why? It had nothing to do with AVAX USD. AVAX USD looked amazing at the
Yeah.
time. But it just looked like it was pure arrogance of me thinking about Ethereum. Like Ethereum, there's no way Ethereum is going to let AVAX run against it like that, you know?
Right.
And like, it's
At least not
weird
for
how.
that long.
That's right. That's right. And so yeah, it sold and came back down. So you have this like little bar, and like that's kind of creating an inverse head and shoulders, kind of, on the 3-day on AVAX. And my lord, if we can just hold this little area, maybe have a little dip down below and come back up and break out of it, oh, AVAX season's gonna be amazing.
It'll be lit.
It'll be amazing.
You'll
Like
start-
Joe will be $10. Joe will be $15.
Yeah. Start seeing bridging memes again.
Absolutely. The Bridger.
It's so funny.
So fun.
There were a couple questions. What funding rate would I get spooked at? And it's not. I don't use funding where it's like, oh, if one funding period is high, then I want to get out of my longs. It's more like if we have elevated funding for like a week or 2 weeks, or like it could be longer. So like I'm not exiting a trade just because funding looks a specific way, but if the chart is starting to look like it's cooling off and funding is still absurdly high, you can kind of use those things in confluence. But it's not like funding isn't like there's alpha in funding, but it's not just, oh, funding hit this level, market's pulling back. Like
Right.
funding can stay elevated for a long time, as we saw in like the chart I was showing earlier and the one I tweeted about the funding. Funding was super high all throughout, like what was it, April, February, March, April, like for 3 months when we were consolidating up there, funding was crazy high.
Yeah.
So funding on like a
Completely
macro,
irrational.
yeah, funding on a macro perspective, I would say is like alpha. But you don't need to look at every single new 8-hour predicted funding rate. So
Right. Yeah, I agree. And again, I just pulled up the link you sent me on like the live view. It's still,
yeah, it's pretty chill.
it's shockingly chill.
And Bitcoin is at 64.3 ish.
Yeah, let me is this the index? Is this my index? Yeah. Yeah, we were at 64.3 for a moment. I always go to the index. The index is my favorite. So again, the index is where I annotate, but you have just nothing but error. Like this is crazy busy,
Right.
but it respected all of these lines.
Right.
TRL, a channel top, TRL. And it held all of this.
I've got a good feeling about Bitcoin going to 70K before it goes back to like 61.5 or something like that.
Oh, get out your clips, people. Get out your clips.
70K before 61.5. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think you'll see, stupid crypto numbers. So it'll be 69,420, not 70. And yeah, 100%. I think 100%. It's very rare that you see people like Flood and Zorin and Rookie and all those guys be like, we're going to 70K in the next 4 days or whatever. And they all did.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild. People like that are pretty protective of their names. All super good dudes, don't get me wrong. But, for that many people to just like kind of be aligned, it's pretty, that tells a story, doesn't it? So I think that you're right. 100%, dude. It's going to be a rip.
I think we could see that in like one daily candle. Like now that this has kind of broken out.
You want to see something?
Yeah.
This is always fun. Do you ever do this? Because I like to do this just to like show people and remind them what it's like. I gotta wait for it to normalize, and my chart will probably move, so this might screw up. But
yeah, I think we'll be good.
Just remember what happens when Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Okay, ready? Here we go. That's what it looks like, folks.
Yep.
Like, are you kidding me? This is dailies, but like, look what that was 100% in 12 days.
Right.
Okay, so I'll stop it now. But like, so it's a little crazy, but I love to go back and just look at what the breakout candles look like and slow it down, because all of a sudden, boom, look at those days. Those are dailies.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we could get one of those huge Chad candles like tomorrow or the day after. Like one candle from mid 60s to 69.70. Like an 8% day, something like that.
100%. I mean, it's been a long time since we've had one of those.
Other than like 4 days ago or whatever that one was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
I gotta get out of my busy chair. This shit's making me nauseous.
See? Like, look at that. We just popped through that little,
Yeah.
you know.
So I had this up because I was like, we need to punch these cats. Somebody here was unloading. This is what laddering out of a position looks like.
And
right?
that's the exact, I mean, pretty much the same level that I was talking about before you hopped on, that gray level, that daily candle from like mid-April. How we
that goes across 100%.
all the way.
Yep.
And now we are we just closed a 4-hour candle. Like that is a breakout to me. And that's not one you want to
supports that too.
Right.
No,
you don't fade that.
So am I 100% convinced this is it? No, because I'm not 100% convinced about anything, right? And I don't think you are either. You wait for it to really, really confirm.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things you short and there are things you don't. And you don't short this.
No.
Like you just don't. If you like money, like this is not something you short. There have been people that have blown fortunes thinking that they had tops.
Yeah, I don't mess with that stuff.
No.
I don't need to catch the top. I don't need to catch the bottom. Like when you think about it, Bitcoin was at 30K for like 2 months. You didn't need to perfectly time it. You had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely. You're right. You're definitely right.
Jameson in the chat says, "How do we use plus EV tokens as collateral?"
Hey man, I can't even. You know what's funny? There's a way to do it. I just found out, and I don't even know if I want to share that. But not yet. It's coming. It's a token sets. It's token sets rollout. But you're like essentially can loan against that, which is a crazy idea.
That is a pretty crazy idea.
You could get recursive lending on a token set. Are you serious?
No tax ever.
No, because like it's only when you realize it, right?
Right. So if you can lend on it or borrow against it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know what's funny though? Just really quick about. Oh, sorry. I think my. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. My wife called me and I had my headphones on.
No, you're good.
My father texted me the other day, and he goes, "Oh my God, what happened to Bitcoin?" And I was like, "It's up $4,000." And he goes, "I heard it crashed."
That's funny.
I said, "What?
What are you talking about?"
What do you mean? And he was like, "I was watching the news and somebody said, Bitcoin, I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. It's going to go to zero."
Dude, it's so funny. Like, we'll see one dump and you can
believe that?
You'll see one dump. It's probably that one on the 17th that they were talking about.
It probably was.
Those 2 hourly candles, and you can just see like CNN saying, like, what's that percentage? Like 4%. Bitcoin dumps 4% in hour and a half.
Yeah, so it literally was it was like 2.25% in like 2 hours, right? So yeah, at that rate, it'll go to zero in nothing,
right?
Or whatever it is, like just insane.
That
like my dad has never talked. My dad's never talked to me about Bitcoin in his life.
Yeah,
and he chose to like reach out on a day where like it was up $4,000 to be like, "I heard you're getting smoked." What? So yeah, that's pretty funny to me. So this, so you're big. By the way, I think I might take you up on your or on the finding the script on opens because the one that I have I don't really like.
Oh yeah. Well,
The
go to your indicators right now. You can
make
insert
sure I don't have which one?
Spaceman. It's his
Space
level.
yachts.
Spaceman. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
So the
just
key
space.
levels, the very top one.
Got it. Did that do it? Did it work?
Yeah, and then just hide all the stuff you don't want on there because click into it, inputs, and then just like if you don't want Monday's range or the
Sick.
weekly high and low, then just like take off what you don't want.
Okay, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And I have it you like when you're zoomed in, it can mess up your y-axis like if you don't have it or if you have it on auto because like now if you click or if you go even lower time frame, like it wants to show other stuff, so I forget you can right click on the side and I forget what the setting is.
Oh, I see what you mean. So yeah, I just tried to
Right.
like full screen it.
I
And
think it's called
trying to pull all that
like
in.
if you right click on the y-axis, I think it's I might see it. If it's a scale price chart only, it's the fourth one.
Nice.
Yeah. And then if you reset, there you go.
Oh,
It's
see, that's super clutch, man.
yeah, trading
Yes,
these skills.
I got boomer trading view skills.
Yeah, me too.
But this is super super nice. I just always so like there's the daily open, the Monday high. Okay. It's becoming more and more apparent to me that like we're here at the end of the day. The standard market's closed. There's no reason why we shouldn't be ripping right now. I think they're just gonna hang out and just wait for the day to close. We're 3 hours away. They can play some games, mess around with people. You know,
Yeah,
it just feels like part of the games that are played nowadays
it is pretty funny.
to just absolutely try to screw with the markets because it's like, well, we could do it now, but somebody placed their stops, right here. So we're gonna.
No, yeah, that I would take a long on a retest of like 63K later in the day.
No doubt.
Or maybe like
Yeah.
first hour or two after the daily open, we just nuke to. I mean, I don't want to say nuke. It'd be like a small pullback, but wick down to like 62.8, 63K. Stop
those
out
flat-
everyone who bought this breakout, whatever.
And you know what's funny about that too, guys, is there was time in that initial run up from like 20 to 40K where the only way you could get a great entry is that if you just had stink bids, just like always active, waiting for one of those flash crashes.
Dude, right? And you can lose like all your gains if you have a really low stop loss on one of your longs, and it just gets tagged.
You just get literally it comes down, it tags you for like your back. I'll stretch the R to something crazy, and it literally comes down, knocks you out, and reverses immediately, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened.
Those are the trading nightmares.
It's almost like you have to bookend your stop and like a stink bid because it's like, all right, if it comes down and hits me here, it's probably going to rinse all the way down into this pocket of liquidity. So I'll stop here and I'll have one here. And,
right.
That way if I get one, hopefully I get to fill on the other. But
yeah.
And we might see that again. Who knows?
Right. When things are moving up like that, sometimes you got to like either have your stop loss super loose. I'm talking like 30%, something like that, or
oh my god,
trailing it up like aggressively on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's daily evaluation thing.
Like right now,
you can't leave it either, right?
Right. Like right now, if I was trailing my stop up from like a swing long from let's say like 40 something K, 48, 50K, I would probably trail my stop all the way to like 61.5 right now. Yes. I would just try and get it as tight as possible in case that starts happening again.
Yeah. By the way, we're 3 hours away from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive green 8-hour bars.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I like
those sorts of rallies trip me out.
Yeah.
They trip me out. I'm like really off sorts here with my. There we go. Much cleaner, much better. I need to turn that off.
super blurry for a sec.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
don't know. No, you're good. I don't know if that's on my end or yours, but it's looking rough. Probably mine. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't even look if I disabled my VPN, so you might be getting that from me.
Hey, you like
So-
my little Trader Joe logo on the bottom left?
Dude, it's sick. Do you know
It
there's an
looks-
Apex one of those? You've
It
seen
looks
that,
pretty
right?
clean. Yeah. It is. It is dope.
The Apex one of that is super sick, and it looks just like it. Yeah, I see the blurry now on like the preview up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I literally we're peaking, dude. We are peaking right now. Why are we not going to do it? I said this in like my chat room a little bit ago. I'm like, who are these beta virgins that are selling this right now?
Yep, I would not fade this. We got a question. Thoughts on Sol? I'm very bullish on Sol. I just I don't think it'll outperform Bitcoin right now.
No, I don't think you find me something that outperforms Bitcoin right now. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. I might need to put my Trader Joe's, that's copyright. They told me to put it on there. Well, I offered.
No, well, he's
talking about the grocery
yeah,
store.
Grocery store, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
R.I.P. Trader Joe.
yeah, I know, right?
Good guy though, or maybe was.
So here,
I don't really know actually.
there you go, September 21st. I know because I drew this while I was on stream with you,
Oh yeah.
and it literally hopped off exactly that. And we've come through here, and we're just sitting. We're literally just sitting on the 50 of Sol, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
like
I
it.
think the USD pair can do like if Bitcoin's ripping, making new all-time highs, I think Sol is gonna go up. The USD pair, I just don't think it'll do better.
No, it's not
But
gonna it's not gonna outperform Bitcoin for sure.
But that's kind of the theme of everything we've been saying. A lot of alts can do solid, but they're not gonna
There you
do
go.
better.
Like that's where you have to make that decision. And having just come through finally, like finishing my taxes a few days ago, to me, it's not the worst thing in the world at some points to take a loss. And that sounds really, really like what? The apparently I sound like Kaleo. This is like the 10th time somebody said I sound like Kaleo.
That's funny.
I didn't know that. But yeah, if you think that something else is going to outperform, there is a tax loss harvest argument to be made. Now, that's a whole different conversation. You consult your tax advisor, yada, yada, yada. But there's, where's the support zone? Truly.
Yeah, I was looking at Sol BTC. It looks a little rough. If it loses where it's at, like those two
this
red,
little-
yeah. If it loses that, then it won't look great. But also, I mean, I don't know.
It could hold it.
Yeah.
Could hold it.
No, it could. Like it could just consolidate here. It might not get crushed against Bitcoin. It might,
Which would be a win, quite frankly.
Yeah, if it just consolidates around 0.0022 or whatever.
Yeah, what is that? 00226 to 00234. It just hangs out. Maybe you get some wicks down if like there's some crazy Bitcoin impulse. I'd be 100% down with that. Wouldn't you?
I would for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz it's going to look at its time. And remember for a moment, okay? July 21 right here. That was the bottom on Bitcoin right here. And then Bitcoin just gave like a little bit of a rebound signal. A little bit of a rebound signal. And Solana did almost 6x versus Bitcoin while Bitcoin was recovering. Just, it's not like it was doing that and Bitcoin wasn't doing anything. Like Bitcoin was going up while it was happening. So it's not unheard of that Bitcoin could go up and Solana could go up too. Right?
Correct.
I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, I could see it. Sol has done some crazy things before. Like Sol has had some great days while the whole market is flat or even down. Like, I don't know. I feel like correlations with Sol are sometimes really hit or miss.
I completely
Like, we could
agree.
absolutely see a day where Sol and BTC are just both ripping and everything else is flat. Like,
I would not rule it out
yeah,
one bit.
Sol has
Would not
definitely
rule
done
it
some stuff like that.
out. This is one that I always look at, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
DeFi perp,
yeah,
DeFi perp, DPI are pretty much the same thing. Um, so, you know, it popped out of the DTL and it's just settling over to the right side. Now, again, this is in USD, but it's very bullish if it just hangs out over there. So, I don't know, man. I think I expect when the rotation comes from Bitcoin to Ethereum, you're going to see this DeFi perp do embarrassing things. And people who have FTX accounts and didn't long it are going to be like, what am I doing with my life?
DeFi season, part 2.
For real.
Yeah,
Because, by the way, I just want to point out, this is when it launched. I remember when this launched.
mm-hmm.
I remember the day this launched. Do you remember this?
June 20th.
June of 20, yeah. So essentially,
I do remember that. Well, I don't remember if I remember the day of the DeFi perp, but I remember when they were like, all right, we're basically making these ETF, well, not really ETFs, but like these fund of funds, like Dragon perp or whatever.
Absolutely.
All
You're
that.
right. It's exactly right. That all
Which
about
was
the same
honestly
time.
pretty sick. Like, that's one of the coolest things about FTX, and no one talks about those. Like,
You're right.
these perps are lit.
They really are. I mean, the funding can get out of control real fast, so you got to watch that. But because like on this run up, the funding was insane. Like you were giving away like 1/4% every 8 hours. But it was going up a ton, so
you could always you could always compare it with like the Aave Comp, SNX, Sushi funding rates, and if it's better to just like diversify into those, it could work.
That's true.
But
that's true.
But this is
again,
a really nice, easy, like if it looks like we're getting a DeFi, not necessarily DeFi summer, because who knows when it's going to be, but if it looks like we're getting one of those happening again, like I don't think it'll be a bad idea to punt along on this with like 3% risk, wide stop, and just ride it for like 2 months.
100%. 100%. And again, like that's all that was needed for a DeFi summer on chain that made people like millionaires. Okay. That this made people millionaires. This was people getting in. This was people being millionaires. This was people getting out. That was it. And then it happened again. Then we consolidated, came back up. We formed some R. We just peaked out of it. We're moving sideways as Bitcoin does its thing. So I am so pumped to see if we can pull it off, what price discovery looks like on this bad boy. If there's a DeFi summer, oh my God.
Probably like 100K, 50K.
Look at this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Look at this breakout.
It's a 10x. Well, just about.
It was a 7x in 5 months.
Yeah.
And that was concurrent with a lot of crazy moves in Bitcoin and Ethereum at the exact same time.
Man.
Which is crazy. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, I love this stuff, man. This stuff gets me so I cannot imagine doing anything else. Can you?
Right. No.
I really can't.
No. It's great.
I really cannot. Just anecdotally, because I was a big BNB guy forever.
Yeah.
BNB burnt like $640 million worth of BNB yesterday, and nobody gave a shit.
Actually,
$640 million.
And they were like,
"Yeah, exactly right. Nobody cares anymore." That's what ripped this out initially. This like candle in February of this year was them being like, "We're gonna burn like $1 billion with BNB," and people were like, "Oh my God, supply is contracting. Let's get long."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, today they burnt 640 million or something like that BNB, and nobody gave a shit. They were like, yeah, that's fine, cool, thank you.
Maybe we should long some BNB.
Or people don't care. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
It's like one of those times where it's like, am I really smart or am I the only person thinking about this?
See, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's, down here when it was $280, a lot of people were like, this is the demand zone, man. I'm getting long. I believe it. One touch, feeling good, pop back up, came down. Two touch, still feeling good. Third touch, you're like, this might just be me. I don't know, because you don't really hear people talking about BNB very often. George asked, how do we play the DeFi index? On chain, if you don't have FTX, which FTX, it's DeFi Pulse. I'm sorry, on FTX, it's what I say? DeFi Perp?
Yeah, you said Pulse or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so on chain, it's DPI, which I think you can actually chart on here right now. Yeah, DeFi Pulse.
You mean like if you swap for it somewhere? Is that what
yeah, so like you can get this on Uniswap or
wait, that's at
else.
$350.
Yeah, so it's because there's a lot going on. It's not the exact same tokens,
but
and this
idea.
launched a lot later too. Yeah,
right,
so you can go in and see what the DeFi Pulse is, and you can see what the breakdown is. In fact, it's like on their front page.
Yeah. Can I buy that in my Roth IRA?
Wouldn't it be sick if you could? There you go.
Dude, I wonder when there's going to be a DeFi ETF, and then we can... Also, you think you're, you know what we should do? Holy crap.
So,
I have the best idea ever.
Okay,
I have the best idea ever.
I like good ideas.
So it's basically like your token set idea.
Okay.
But use BTC or GBTC and the Ethereum grayscale ETF and just do that in our freaking Roth IRAs. And then it's all tax-free Bitcoin money in 40 years when I'm 60, 35.
Yeah, well, in 40 years, I'm like in a home somewhere, but
in 30 years. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like that.
Yeah. No,
I think the grayscale ones track pretty well, like to the point where we could literally be trading ETH BTC's volatility, swapping in and out of Ethereum's grayscale trust and Bitcoin's in a tax-free account.
Oh, 100%. My Roth IRA is 100% GBTC right now. 100%.
Okay, so you're doing what my good idea already is.
Yeah, but I've never thought about like talking about it. Hey guys, you should do this right now.
Okay.
But like, yeah, you definitely can do it.
All right, I'm doing it.
You absolutely should do it.
Should
do it.
I just don't know if I should.
Well, it's closed now because the market's closed, but
cut my losses on Bitwise. Bro, how is it down 3% today? Holy
what percentage
cow.
of it is so anyway, for the guy who's asking, this is DeFi Pulse. So it's comprised of Uniswap, Aave, Maker, Sushi, Compound, Snacks, Synthetics is what I call it Snacks, Yearn, Ren, Loopring, Kyber, Badger, Balancer, Cream. So like, Harvest, InstaDab, Vesper. So there's some stuff that isn't in the actual DeFi perp, but it's pretty much the same idea. It's all the blue chips.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy this and you just buy DeFi Pulse, which is DPI. So it's a single transaction and you can buy the token so when you add, like you could add money to the token set here, which they have, $200 million in it. But they also added liquidity to it too, so it's a tradable pair on any like Uniswap or Sushi Swap. So it's not like you have to deal with crazy gas fees to do it, which is nice.
I like it.
Yeah, it's super clutch. Also clutch this extension, which makes everything dark mode because nothing offends me quite as much as something that does not have a dark mode option.
Wait, what doesn't have a dark mode option?
Trading
view? Oh, token sets. I was gonna say. I use dark mode on TradingView. I just make my chart white. So.
Yeah. Well, yours is not like it's shock in your face white. It's like off white.
Right.
Which I'm okay with. Like painter's ceiling paint white, I got a problem with.
The hotel bed sheet white.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Bitwise, man. A friend and I bought that the day it listed, and the premium went absolutely insane. Good times. Not so good for you.
I bought that premium.
I can tell you right here. I bought that premium. I was their exit liquidity.
I was literally you and your friend's exit liquidity. AP says I thought Kaz lives in Germany. Only part time, I guess you should say. I bounce
Are you
around.
like? I mean,
I'm
you
a-
and I've talked about this before.
I'm a
like,
German citizen. Like I have a German passport, and
That's
that's
so sick.
what I
I'm so jealous, man.
travel with and stuff. But due to marriage and things like that, I spend a fair amount of time in the United States now.
A flight from where you're from has got to be a bear. I mean, that's like got to be.
It's a long
like,
ways.
Yeah, it's like 17, 18 hours, something like that. Not that much.
No, not quite as bad. But like, I mean, there are some directs to like London, or I don't think there's a. I know there was a Seattle to Stuttgart, which is like a long one, but I think I've taken that flight a couple times. I'm not in Washington right now, but still, Pacific Standard.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
From where I am in Chicago to get to London is like not further than me going to San Diego.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's equidistant Chicago to London as it is.
That's
for me
why,
to go to Chicago to San Diego.
That's why it's going to be super convenient when I move to Puerto Rico, when both of us move to Puerto Rico
Right, dude.
for the tax-free haven, and that's like not that far to Europe.
No, it's not. It is not. I'm here
Puerto
for that,
Rico
dude.
to Germany flight times. Wait, why is this so long? Oh, it's because it stops. I don't know.
You do have a deceiving amount of German fans. Like, it's crazy.
It is pretty sick.
Like, do you advert when you're over there? You're like, yo, check me out.
No, not at all. I just think there's a good amount of.
Why not, dude?
Right. I want to do some like crypto meetups next time I'm out there. That'd be kind of fun.
100%. If you did it in New York during the middle of COVID, which wasn't the middle of COVID, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, why would you not go home and do it?
Right.
Where is this? My just myopic USA geography so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Stuttgart relative to like Munich?
Southern Germany.
That's kind of nice though, isn't it? That's where you kind of want to be, right?
It is nice. I like it down there. You're close to France and stuff. Like it's funny in Europe, you can like drive to different countries and it takes a couple hours, and then it's like you're in California and you can drive 10 hours within the same state.
Yeah, it's slightly different.
But yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what's the
Stuttgart is
appropriate size, approximate size of Germany relative to like a state? Is it like Wyoming or something?
That's a good question. I don't know exactly, but it's probably something like that. Maybe like a Nevada, a little bigger. I don't know though.
Yeah, that's probably right.
But yeah, so southern Germany is dope. You drive a little west and you're in France. You drive a little south and you're in Switzerland or Austria. Like everything's close.
That's hot. Yeah, I was in.
Stuttgart is not a lame city.
Oh, you don't get them fired up. Get the German blood rolling, man.
Croatia. I want to go to Croatia. I've never been to Croatia, but I would like to.
Last time I was in Europe, I went to Italy and I stopped in St. Moritz
Uh-huh.
in Switzerland and stayed on the mountain. I can't say the name, so I'm not going to say it. But
Switzerland is phenomenal.
so, dude, the Swiss Alps are out of this world.
Yeah, I would live in Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be crypto rich. You'd have to be early crypto rich to afford it. But we're working on that, right?
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we've been live for a little over 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. Thanks for jumping on. I know we were
Yeah.
just like chatting and shit. And you
I
were
know.
like, Jared, what do you say? I was like hitting you with messages, and I was like, I'm just hanging out. You want to talk?
Yeah, no, it's been good, and I think people love the discourse. Like, I don't know, sometimes streams just feel like they're smooth when you like talk to someone and not just
I agree.
the chat. And it's kind of nice, like you don't need to talk just yourself for like 2 hours straight. So
Yeah, I get tired.
Annie
tired.
says Puerto Rico's awesome, and she moved there 3 months ago for the same reason.
Did you, Annie? Well,
Crypto meetup in Puerto Rico.
Annie 100% made it then, if that's the reason why she moved there. So congratulations, Annie. Good for
Annie,
you.
You're a G.
That's outstanding, and I'm jealous.
I don't think I would ever be able to convince my wife. So that's the.
Think about it though. Like,
and I'll be like, all right, well, hey, at least we can hang out for 6 months of the year.
there's a triangle
I'm
that
just kidding.
exists
Don't quote me.
between where you live in California, Puerto Rico, and Stuttgart. Right?
That's true. Yeah, it
I'm
works.
just saying. That was not
It's
bad.
it's a obtuse triangle,
So
it works.
So here's what I would say then. We just got to double down, make a little more money, and then just do it.
All right. I will.
And we can get all your followers to do it too.
I'll work on convincing. It might take some time, but we'll make it happen.
And if you can, tell me how, because I'll try to do the same thing.
Right.
Use
the same strategy.
Yeah, it's not worked over here either.
Right. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you all tuning in. Jared, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me on, man. It's fun.
If you guys want to support through any of the sponsors, the links are down below. And we're almost at 7,000 subs, which is pretty fun. So,
dude, that's sick.
All right, guys. Next stream on Thursday, and Bitcoin better print an all-time high today so that our stream efforts won't